G'day everyone, welcome back to Nat's Knackers Yard. I'll be Nat, this will be my Knackers Yard, and let's get on with this CX500 paintwork and get it back on the bike. Okay, so in a brief respite of no washing machine and dishwasher going, it is the weekend. I can actually film and talk. So we are now rubbed down. So by rubbed down, my preference, not what you should do, but I don't like taking anything below 1200 grit wet on fresh paint. I was really tempted to just leave it as is, and I'll drop in a bit of footage actually, probably with a voiceover, of what it looked like before I started rubbing away at it, because it looked really good. I'm back. So the problem with it like that is that no, it wasn't bad orange peel actually. Like the texture of a orange skin, it wasn't bad. But I know I'd always sit on the bike and stare at it and go, oh, I could do better than that. So rub down, so 1200 to start with, 15, 2000, 2500. And by wet sanding, Christ, my stomach's going. By wet sanding, there's a reason I'm next to a sink with, you know, a couple of inches of warm soapy water in it, and just keep it soaking. You know, I'm talking wetter than a fish's wet bits, to quote Blackadder. Really wet. What I don't mean is spray with a spray gun rub. You're going to scratch it to hell. You can still scratch it to hell as is, but gentle pressure, swirly. I've got swirls in it. It's now going to have to try and polish those out, but actually I'm really quite chuffed. There's a couple of blemishes that I'll show you at another point, but I did manage to get rid of most of the bad bits. It's not perfect, but it's pretty good for a home jobby, if I do say so myself. Right, so next up is a bit of rubbing compound. This stuff's really light. I'm not entirely convinced it does a great deal, but a bit of rubbing compound. I am going to use my my little dual action badger on it, just to get rid of what I can and then get going with the polish. I might put it on the bike to polish it, because obviously it holds it in a decent position, but I don't know yet. We'll see. Let's see how we get on. Right, so post a bit of a mother's fest here, I suppose. Post mother's rubbing compound. We're getting rid of a lot of the scratches, replacing them with some smaller ones, I think. A bit of swirling, but let's move on to a bit more Maguire's, not Mother's. Ultimate Compound. Good stuff. So again, I'm not sure if I'm going to use I'll use the polisher, I've got it. But it's, I'll see how much spray it leaves up on the walls, otherwise it'd be by hand. Okay, so that's post polish and it's looking pretty good. Hello. Not perfect. It's got the odd blemish in it that I'm struggling to show with the camera, so it's not that bad. Excuse me. The Honda badges I want to have another little play with before I get them on. I also want to leave that polish to settle. Stupid statement. Look at that, the camera can't even focus on it. Whoop, there we go. I've got the mud guard on too. Now that's taken a lot. Actually, that's looking, you've not seen that done before, have you? That's looking pretty good too. Caught a blemish, there we go. Where are we? There we go. So it's not perfect, but you know, for a tit in a shed, it will do. I took the wheel off to do that. It was a bit of a, I didn't want to scratch my paint, so it was wheel off. While I had the wheel off, I've also just gone over the front forks. They weren't too bad, to be brutally honest, but one of these little wool pads on a grinder with Mother's, oh crikey, Gorage. That must have shrunk. There we go. Yeah, Mother's mag and aluminium polish. I was saying Mother's earlier, I was getting confused. I thought I had the polish, but no, that's the mag and aluminium polish. So just bang it on with your hands. Burn it on with one of those wall pads, and it really does a good job, actually. Yeah, it's and consequently they've come up really quite well for not a lot of effort. A bit of arsing about, because obviously you've got to take everything off to do it, but my feeling was I needed the wheel out to get the mudguard in. While I had the wheel out, why the hell would I not do something with? Right, let me get it off that lift, which, yes, it is on the sump, but there's no frame under there to do that with, and I've got no centre stand. So right, let me get that down and we'll go for a test start. Right, okie dokie, he's looking a lot better. Let's see if we can get him sounding good as well. Right, so I have got the new filters on that I put on a short. Let me see if I can, because not everyone watches shorts and the main ones. Let's see what I can show you. Let's smooth that around. Right. Thinking, if you haven't seen the short, that's what it came with, which is a standard cheap Chinese ones. One of you guys pointed out the restriction on the inside. I found those that don't have it, but also it's a lot of surface area on a pod. That's a lot less. So my thinking being that can only be a good thing, just to restrict the airflow a little bit. Now remember, I haven't even cracked the carbs yet, so I have no idea how it's jetted, but it's better. And I get that occasional bog. That might be as something as simple as air fuel screws. I might have a quick look now, but let me sort that plate out. It's really bugging me. It keeps dropping. But yeah, I mean, come on, focus, you fucking idiot. I don't know why that's really struggling so much. But turn up the noise. That's so much better. I might try dropping in a couple of pics of how it was to start with. Yeah. Now questions next. For one, I've got to sort out that carb. Sort it out. It works. I've got to have a look at it and see how it's jetted, and just see if I can jet appropriately. Next question is battery. I really would love to just open up that space. I can't find my little lithium battery. It'll have to go somewhere. I don't know. I think I'm just going to go for a plate. Something there to cover up. I know it's slightly half-assed. I really want to have a look at the rev counter. The actual element, if you like, isn't spinning, so it's probably just the worm drive onto that. Apparently that's a fairly common thing for the bikes, but I think once I get the carb off, I'll oh Christ, I'm really snotty. Once I've got the carb off, I'll have a proper look. Now obviously that's tank off, etc, etc. The one bit that annoys me is that there's a plate under the seat to hook on, and I've taken it off. I'll put it down somewhere. I'm buggered if I can find it, but it'll turn up. But yeah, I'm so chuffed, so chuffed. I thought I'd taken a chunk out of my paint there. It's polish. Yeah, well happy. Yeah, that'll do me for this one. I think next is going to have to be a bit of carb work, and I'll see if I can sort out those Honda plates probably this evening off camera. Cheers all, catch you later, ta-da. back again. I forgot. Now this had these pads on there. Obviously wrong colour, but I like the style. I did try and order some replacements in black, obviously. Got the wrong ones. Got the wrong ones. way too big. But yeah, they'd work on that bad boy. So they'll go on pork once I get them going, and I have ordered smaller ones that size. Right, that is me. I will catch later on. And I'll chuck some pictures up of this beauty. But that'll do me for now. Next one comes, I think. Cheers all. Ta-da this time, for real.